The valiant Claw, flagship of the Crethian predator fleet, hummed with the controlled chaos of a warship preparing for patrol. In the lower decks, where the warrior cubs trained under watchful eyes, something unprecedented was occurring. Rhea Solis stood in the doorway of the communal training hall, frozen in disbelief. Her missing hairbrush, the one she'd been searching for all morning, was currently being wielded by Cub Varen like some kind of sacred artifact. Around him, a dozen predator cubs sat in rapt attention, their reptilian features twisted into expressions of fierce concentration. "Hold still, Corax," Varen commanded, his clawed hand surprisingly gentle as he drew the bristles through his squadmate's crimson crest. The human's grooming ritual requires precision. Rhea watched as Corax's naturally spiky head frills transformed under Varen's ministrations, swept back and upward into an impressive ridge that caught the overhead lights. The other cubs chittered with approval, their forked tongues flicking in excitement. She should stop this. She really should. The Crethians were apex predators 7 foot tall, bipedal reptilians whose species had conquered half the known galaxy through superior strength and tactical brilliance. They didn't do ... hairstyling, yet here they were. "My turn," squeaked another cub, pushing forward eagerly. Varen held up one clawed hand, his yellow eyes narrowing with authority beyond his young years. "Patience, Syra. A proper war mane cannot be rushed. Observe how the human's tool separates each strand, creating volume in what she calls body. Where did you even learn that term?" Rhea finally found her voice. 12 juvenile heads swiveled toward her in unison. Varen's eyes brightened, and he clutched the hairbrush protectively to his chest. "Specialist Solis, we have been perfecting the ancient human war preparation ritual. Please, will you demonstrate the proper technique?" Ancient war preparation ritual. Rhea bit back a laugh. She'd been brushing her hair yesterday after her shower when Varen had passed by her quarters. The cub had stopped, transfixed, watching through her open door as she'd worked through her long brown hair. She thought nothing of it. Clearly she thought wrong. "Varen, it's just grooming. Humans do it for hygiene and ... appearance." "Exactly," Varen's tail lashed with enthusiasm. "Before battle, human warriors prepare their manes to strike fear into enemies. We have studied the archives. Vikings, samurai, warriors across your history spent significant time on their appearance before combat. It is psychological warfare." He wasn't entirely wrong, Rhea realized with growing amusement. Many human cultures throughout history had indeed used elaborate hairstyles and grooming as part of their warrior identity. "Show us the warrior's braid," Syra pleaded, her smaller claws clasped together. "The one you wore during the simulation exercise." That had been a simple ponytail, but to these young predators, everything about humans held mysterious significance. Since joining the Crethian fleet as part of the new Human-Crethian alliance, Rhea had discovered that humanity's reputation as clever, unpredictable, and impossibly resilient had preceded her. The Crethians respected strength, and humans, despite being smaller and physically weaker, had earned that respect through sheer stubborn ingenuity. "All right," Rhea sighed, stepping into the hall. "Give me the hairbrush, Varen." The cub handed it over reverently, then sat before her with perfect military posture. His head crest was naturally ridge-like, similar to human hair in texture if not composition. As Rhea began brushing, the other cubs crowded closer, watching intently. "The key," Rhea explained, falling into instructor mode, "is to work from the ends up, removing tangles gently. Rushing causes breakage. Patience is a warrior's virtue," Varen quoted, clearly reciting from his training. "Exactly." Rhea smiled, working the brush through his crest. It was surprisingly soft, the scales flexible and almost feather-like. And for the record, Vikings probably didn't brush their hair before every battle. But they did braid it to keep it out of their faces during combat. "Practical and intimidating," Corax observed sagely. The human way. Over the next hour, Rhea found herself conducting an impromptu grooming workshop. She braided Syra's delicate head tendrils into a crown pattern. She showed Corax how to create spikes that stood at attention rather than flopping sideways. For Varen, she crafted an elaborate swept-back style that made him look remarkably fierce. The cubs admired themselves in polished metal panels, growling approvingly at their reflections. "We shall wear these war manes during today's combat drills," Varen announced. "The instructor will see our dedication to pre-battle ritual." "I'm not sure that's..." Rhea began. But the cubs were already filing out, chattering excitedly among themselves. 3 hours later, Rio was summoned to Commander Thex's office. The massive Crethian sat behind his desk, his scarred muzzle unreadable. Behind him, displayed on his monitor, was footage from the training deck. Footage of 12 predator cubs moving through combat simulations with elaborate, human-style war manies. Their performance scores had improved by 15%. Specialist Solus, Commander Thex rumbled. I understand my youngest warriors have adopted a new grooming protocol. Sir, I can explain. The commander's mouth split into what Rhea had learned to recognize as a Crethian smile all teeth. Their unit cohesion has increased. Their confidence has measurably improved. Their instructor reports they're more focused. He paused. Whatever human psychological tactics you're teaching them, continue. Rhea blinked. You want me to keep styling their hair? We Crethians respect strength in all its forms, Specialist. If grooming rituals help prepare young warriors mentally for combat, then it becomes a tactical advantage. He leaned forward. Besides, Varen's squad has challenged the senior cubs to a training match next week. They're calling themselves the mained unit. The senior cubs are already requesting your expertise. As Rhea left the commander's office, she passed Varen in the corridor. The cub's war mane was still perfectly styled, and he walked with noticeable pride. Specialist Solus, he said formally, then dropped his voice to an excited whisper. Is it true humans have special preparations for their claws as well? Syra heard about something called nail polish. Rhea looked down at her regulation short fingernails, then back at Varen's eager face. Somewhere, somehow, humanity's reputation in the galaxy had just taken another bizarre turn. Tell Syra to meet me in the recreation bay at 1800 hours, Rhea said finally, and bring the whole squad. If we're doing this, we're doing it properly. Varen's eyes gleamed with predatory satisfaction. Yes, Specialist. As he bounded away, Rhea couldn't help but smile. The Crethian Predator fleet was about to learn that human warfare preparation included not just tactics and weapons, but also the ancient art of looking absolutely fabulous while defeating your enemies. War manies were just the beginning.